Today I wanted to go over with you guys the real reason why you can't get healthy. It's not because healthy people have some superpower, insane discipline, or unshakable willpower. Well, some might, but that's usually not what got them there. What actually set them apart is humility and a lack of ego. Most people who are unhealthy carry way too much ego. And honestly, a lot of delusion around their health and knowledge of health. They think that they know things that they absolutely do not know. Let's break down a few of the most common examples. First, let's talk about human physiology. Most people have no idea how their body works on a physiological level. There is so much we could dive into here, but let's keep it simple and stick to the most commonly misunderstood topics. Hormones, gut health, genetics, brain health, muscles, tendons, joints, blood sugar. Let's go with blood sugar. Have you ever heard of the glucose goddess? Ring a bell? She has made an entire career and millions of dollars off of demonizing blood sugar spikes. And if you knew anything about how human physiology works, we have mechanisms in our body to handle blood sugar spikes. Blood sugar spikes are absolutely normal. And the only reason you would ever need to even worry about blood sugar spikes is if you were a diabetic or you had other diagnosed metabolic issues. And even then, you should seek out advice from a medical professional, not some random lady on the internet. But this is where your ego comes in. This lady says something online, it resonates with you, she hits on a pain point, and you go, oh, that makes sense. So it must be true. Maybe I should avoid blood sugar spikes as well. It's not true. It's wrong. It's flat out wrong. But just because her point resonated with you and your ego, and it makes sense to you, you think it's right. That's not how this works. Because unless you have some kind of degree or have done extensive research on the topic of blood sugar spikes and nutrition, your understanding is minimal at best. Just because something makes sense to you does not make it true in the slightest. Second thing, let's work more into this nutrition topic because this is easily one of the most emotionally charged topics and misunderstood topics that's constantly debated on the internet. Let me make this painfully clear. Just because you eat food does not mean you know anything about food. Everyone thinks that they have a valid opinion on nutrition just because they eat food, and that logic does not hold up in any other field. So why should it here? A great example for this is driving your car. We drive our cars everywhere, but we can only tell you the basic functions of the car, right? You might know a few pieces of the car, how it's supposed to run, etc. But I'm not going to walk into a car mechanic shop and act like I know more about my car than they do. If you have no education, no training, no experience of how something actually works, you do not have a valid opinion on that subject. Your opinion is based on nothing. It's just personal bias. Even I still don't feel that confident talking about nutrition, and I have had enough formal education to essentially have a minor in nutrition. And I just got done doing a bodybuilding show where all I cared about was nutrition for 16 weeks. And I'm still hesitant to hop on this camera and talk about nutrition because I know how heavy and nuanced of a topic it is. And this will bring us to the last topic, exercise. Most people do not understand how to exercise properly, flat out. Even people who have been training for years still have minimal levels of how exercise actually works. So to have an opinion on exercise when you don't even exercise consistently or regularly is nonsense. You don't understand the fundamentals. You can't distinguish good workouts from bad workouts. You can't distinguish good programming from bad programming. And the list can go on and on and on. So to close this out, if you don't understand how your body works, you don't understand nutrition, and you don't understand exercise, you should have zero ego around those topics. And unless you're willing to humble yourself and admit that and get the help you need from qualified individuals, you will never get healthy because you will always be getting in your own way and your ego will constantly be blocking your own progress. If you made it all the way to the end, thanks for watching. And if you want to start learning how to exercise properly, go watch this video here.